New sense of urgency to find the mother and stepfather of Noel Rodriguez-Alvarez, the 6-year-old that authorities say may be dead after going missing in November. Our Chris Sadeghi is live in Everman, and Chris, say they've got some new lead in this case.
Yes, Mark, the latest update from Everman Police presented some new evidence, and though it does not point to where Noel Rodriguez-Alvarez is, it does indicate what his stepfather was doing in the days before he and his family left the country. Here is a photo that we now have of Noel's stepdad, Ashdeep Singh, at a bank where he deposited $8,000 just a few days before his wife and other children got on a plane bound for India without Noel. Police say that money was about $10,000, was just the $8,000 was of $10,000 he took from the Azel Food Mart where he worked, and he also changed the store's cash records to try to cover it all up. That was March 22nd, just 2 days before the Amber Alert for Noel. Credit card records reportedly show he bought the plane tickets to leave the country less than 24 hours before departure. The Everman Police Chief said Tuesday, if there is any kind of record or digital footprint the family left behind, the investigators want to get their hands on it.
I can tell you that the investigators have compiled a multitude of search warrants for data. I don't want to go into the specifics on what kind of data, but pretty much, as I've said before, if you can think about it, we're probably looking at it in this case.
Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, I took a few days off from the channel. I had my birthday yesterday, so it was kind of nice to get off of socials for just a bit, get some real life happening there. But I missed doing videos with the channel and getting on here. So I wanted to do an update on little Noel's case, because with everything else going on with the Letitia Stouch trial and, Monkey and Summer Wells and everything else going on, and of course Delphi and what have you, this one here is one I did do one video on, but I wanted to do an update because it's heartbreaking. It's just another heartbreaking one. Now this here is the local affiliate, WFAA, and they have a really good timeline of events in the search for little Noel. Now, if you remember, he's the 6-year-old that went missing from North Texas, and originally the law enforcement released an Amber Alert on him, and now they believe the boy is dead. So let's get caught up on this one. In late March, an Amber Alert was issued for a missing 6-year-old that hadn't been seen since November of 2022. A lot has happened since then, so here is a breakdown. The search for missing 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez-Alvarez continues as Everman police gather more details and information into his disappearance. So much has happened since it all began in late March. It's a lot to keep track of. There have been numerous developments in the case since an initial Amber Alert went out for Rodriguez-Alvarez. And that is an understatement. There is a lot going on in this case. Okay, now again, WFAA has an excellent timeline of events here. March 20th, Everman police were contacted by Texas Child Protective Services about Noel. According to Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer, CPI was told that many family members said they hadn't seen the 6-year-old since November of last year. They requested officers conduct a welfare check at the boy's home. The chief said police arrived to the home where the mother, 37-year-old Cindy Rodriguez-Singh, told them that Noel had been with his biological father in Mexico since November. Everman police then relayed that information to CPI. Of course, that was not true. March 23rd, CPI contacted Everman police again. An investigator said they spoke to more family members who were concerned about Noel's well-being. According to Spencer, CPI also found the boy's father in Mexico. He told the agency that he did not have Noel. He further told authorities he never got to meet his son since he was deported before Noel was born. Spencer said records from Homeland Security support the father's statements. In addition, a CPI investigator tried to reach Noel's siblings at their school. Spencer said the children were absent when authorities tried to reach them, and that CPI learned that their mother had contacted his school to inquire about unenrolling them. CPI then tried to reach Rodriguez Singh, the mother, but were unable to do so. Spencer said that there had been prior CPS investigations and actions against the mother, and said that she does have an extensive criminal history. At this point, a warrant was issued for her arrest. Then we jump to March 25th. An Amber Alert was issued for Rodriguez-Alvarez around midnight. This was March 25th, 5 days later after the family asked for a welfare check. Spencer said multiple agencies were dispatched to find little Noel, his mother, his stepfather, and his 6 siblings, which includes a pair of 5-month-old twins, plus a 7, 8, 9, and 11-year-old. By 9 p.m. on March 25th, authorities learned the family had boarded a flight to Turkey, then to India. Police said they left on Thursday before the Amber Alert was issued. Interesting timing, eh? Spencer said Noel was not listed as a passenger on that flight. Then we jump to the next day, March 26th. The Amber Alert was discontinued and Noel's case was reissued as an endangered missing persons alert through Texas DPS. The next day, March 27th, police said they were conducting a secondary search of the home where the family lives. While police said they had no evidence that the boy was dead, authorities used cadaver dogs during that search of the residence. Police on that Monday also said they were looking into rumors that the boy may have been sold. Yeah, there was concerns about potential trafficking and that and what have you. Then you've got March 30th through 31st. Everman police searched the landlord's property where the family lived. The search included using sonar technology on a new concrete patio after a tip was called into the Everman Police Department. The cement for the patio was partially dug up in search of the missing 6-year-old. Investigators found nothing to indicate Rodriguez-Alvarez's body was underneath that patio. On April 5th, a warrant obtained by WFAA said Rodriguez Singh's brother told investigators that she told their mother that she sold the boy, Noel, to an unknown female at a Fiesta Mart. Everman police told WFAA that there have been no evidence found that support that the child was sold. To read more about that warrant, you can click here. And of course, as you guys know, I always include the link to the articles. So you can definitely look into that if you're interested in about the warrant. April 6th, Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer said in a press conference the boy is no longer considered an endangered missing person, and that investigators have determined that he is likely dead. April 10th, Everman police said while investigators were searching the backyard of the property where the family once lived, cadaver dogs alerted to certain topsoil areas. Their focus on the backyard came from an earlier find in the investigation when they learned about a carpet that Noel's stepfather had thrown out the day before that the family flew out of the country. With assistance from Techstar, multiple human remain detection canines alerted officials to a carpet found in a nearby dumpster to the property where the family had lived. According to officials, that carpet once lined the floor of a, quote, makeshift storage shed where a patio in the backyard now sits. If that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. Police said Rodriguez Singh paid for the concrete to be laid and for the patio to be built where that storage shed once stood in early March 2023. That led investigators to secure a search warrant for crews to remove that concrete patio. After removing the patio, the detection canines again alerted officials, this time to the topsoil underneath the concrete. Definitely not a good sign. April 18th, Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer told WFAA that investigators obtained new data that have allowed them to identify additional people Noel's mother and stepfather had communicated with before they flew out of the country. Investigators were interviewing those individuals. Spencer said searches for Noel's body would happen again later in the week and likely through the weekend. Searches were supposed to happen the weekend prior, which was April 15th to 16th, but investigators held off in order to gather more data and pinpoint specific search locations, the chief stated. April 22nd, which was this past weekend, the search for Rodriguez-Alvarez continues. Everman police and crews conducted ground and drone searches in 2 different areas after pausing their search for nearly a week to comb through new data in the investigation. Everman police said the 2 areas that they were searching were about 215 acres of land just north of Bluebell Drive in Everman, as well as a section of land south of Shelby Road near Village Creek. There were additional small search areas that smaller teams of investigators were also looking into, Spencer said, but did not disclose what those locations were. April 25th, which was yesterday, which was Tuesday, Everman police said in a press conference that Rodriguez-Alvarez's stepfather, Arshdeep Singh, reportedly used his credit card back in March to buy plane tickets less than 24 hours before he and some of the family boarded a flight for India. Police said Singh altered his company's cash deposit records and removed $10,000 in cash before depositing $8,000 of that into his own account. Singh reportedly worked for the convenience stores, and police have surveillance video of him depositing money into the bank. Singh now faces felony theft charges. So that's basically where we are. They are still trying to locate this sweet boy. How anyone can hurt this sweet child, I don't understand. And his biological mother, is allegedly involved. And it sounds like his stepfather as well. There's way too many cases of these poor babies being murdered and disposed of like nothing. As much as I cover these cases and follow them and advocate for these children, it's still hard to comprehend how someone could hurt a beautiful child like Noel. It's just one of those things that I don't think I'll ever understand, no matter how many I cover. And I think law enforcement seems to go through the same. It's just, if you don't want the child, why not give them up? There's other options besides killing them. It's sick, and yeah. At this point, like law enforcement said, they're no longer looking for Noel as an alive, endangered child. The sad thing is, he's likely deceased and potentially buried in that backyard and potentially moved before the family flew out of the country. And at this point, I hope that they can find little Noel and give him a proper burial once they do, and bring his mother and this stepfather back to this country and have them pay for what they've done. We need justice for this little boy. It's just, there's no reason for this. It's no reason whatsoever. So let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Have you been following little Noel's case? I know there's just so many. It's heartbreaking. It truly is. And I just want to post and feel like get these faces out there, because while they're now searching for this family in India, And I still don't know whether India is going to cooperate and extradite them back here. The ultimate question is, what really happened to Noel? And then, they go from there. The ultimate question really is, what happened to this sweet little boy? I pray and hope that law enforcement and all the CSI, all the searchers can find this sweet child and give him a proper burial, and again, get him justice. All right, that's all I've got for this one, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and most of all, stay safe.